Hello everyone, it's Saturday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Obiajulu Olabisi Ugbo, and with me are the amazing ladies. Gang, 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 gang. I have missed you. I haven't seen you in a bit.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back.
Ni hao ma. Ni hao. Ni hao. How you doing? Yes, sir.
So that we are
twinning.
Yeah, gold and silver.
Yeah,
or
it's
just
amazing.
there.
How are you doing, Tope?
So I'm doing good. Yesterday I was saying it's been a very extremely busy season. Like, how could I use the word very and extreme at the same time? Because I feel that kind of busy. I'm doing allocation for 2 of my estates today. So from here it is to Ekpe. There are 2 locations that their owners will be taking over. We'll be showing them their plots and
amazing.
Their Costa boss has already gone ahead of me. I'm very grateful because one of the estates, BC knows the story. We prayed right here on the set when somebody wanted to do shakara for me,
to you.
know, but God showed up and we are in full possession of the land now and customers are taking possession. So
congratulations.
Glory to God. I'm
That's
very
a good
grateful.
One. How are you doing, Toby?
I'm fine, thank you.
It's the weekend. What's up?
I think it's a restful weekend for me this time.
Okay.
But I'm grateful that I was able to host the Velocity conference.
How was it?
Really,
I saw pictures.
It was really
I also saw a snippet.
And for that conference, it was my first time meeting a general overseer that has been a forefather. You know those general overseers that have been there for maybe like a few decades, the Solution Arena, Dr. Amos Fenwa.
I know Dr.
We know him.
He took me to his office, and I was like, so now like this is it was so beautiful and all that. I'm so grateful for that experience. I hosted the panel session and it was really, really amazing.
Church girl.
She's always been a church girl. But it's good to now
No, I just want to be sure that she's a church girl.
Yes, I am.
Okay. How you doing, Damola?
Very well, very well. I saw a snippet that you posted on your WhatsApp. It was so good. She was exuding so much confidence. And, she crossed her legs, the poise. I said, yes, that's my girl. So that was so good to see. For me, it's so good to be back. We are preparing for our Christmas sales, so it's been busy. Not sales that we are giving discount to.
So just to sell markets.
Yeah, so we are bringing in new products and all of that. So I've been communicating a lot with our manufacturers back and forth. So it's been busy. I've not been getting enough sleep, but it's all for good.
So when will the discounts come in? Because that's the one we're waiting for.
We hardly do discounts. So you know that our products are very exclusive. They are premium. So once you even see us do any pre-sale, just quickly grab it because it might not come until maybe another 7-8 months.
So me, that I'm doing discounts now.
Our operations are different.
It's different, actually, yeah. So after the show now, I'm heading straight to the Tafawa Balewa Square to continue the trade fair. It's ending tomorrow. So for those who are not able to come in today, you can still come tomorrow. It's ending tomorrow, and then we move the energy to the preparation for opening my store in Lekki. I'm so grateful to God. Like, I can't wait to open the store. I've been doing my business online for close to 4 years now. I started my business in the heat of COVID-19 when people were losing their jobs.
Yes.
And 2020. Yes, 2020. Yes, 2020. Yeah, COVID-19. Yes, when they were losing their jobs, people were disorganized. They didn't know how to. That was when I started the business, and I've been selling online since. And I just felt it was time for me to finally have a physical space. Yes, it's growth, and I'm grateful to God for that. So all the energy will now be channeled to photo shoots, getting the place ready for Saturday, the 18th of November.
Exactly, a week from
House of
today.
BC, yeah.
I like the way you pronounce it.
Yes, sir. House of BC. Thank you so much. Let's go on a short break. When we come back, we take the newspaper reviews. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back. So we're starting with the nation. Saudi government to invest in Nigeria's refinery, back central bank reforms. Your investment safe in Nigeria, Tinubu assures Saudis. Court restrains NLC TUC from proceeding with November 14th strike. Ajero, I was beaten, dragged on the floor by thugs. IGP orders investigation of alleged assault. Tension as voters elect new Kogi, Imo, Bayelsa governors. INEC warns staff, ad hoc workers against malpractices. Appeal court rejects case seeking Sylvia's exclusion from poll. Crisis hits Bayelsa LP over bribery allegations. Supreme Court, only Guba candidates can determine running mates. What stories do we have in the nation?
So it's a good and bad news. It's a bad news because the president is mourning the death of the first female general in the army. So her name is General Aderonke Kale. She died at 84, but it's still a celebration of life because she's someone who achieved the first milestone of having a female as a general. Reacting to the death, the president, Bola Tinubu, said that the General Kale was widely acknowledged as not only the first female major general in the Nigerian army, but also the first female commander of the Nigerian Army Medical Corps. She's been retired since 1997, but she thrived, conquered, was a female figure of strength within the military, and she's passed on to the other realms, and we're celebrating her life and what she's done, and the president is acknowledging what she stood for in the army. So our heart goes out to the family as we celebrate her life.
Amazing. Great. So the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, said yesterday in a statement that the government of Saudi Arabia had pledged to invest in the revamp of Nigeria's refinery, as well as provide financial support to sustain the government's foreign exchange reforms. And Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman was the one that made the pledge at a bilateral meeting with the President Tinubu, on the sidelines of the Saudi Africa Summit in Riyadh. And he said to support the central bank's ongoing reforms of Nigeria's foreign exchange regime, the Saudi government will make available a substantial deposit of foreign exchange to boost Nigeria's forex liquidity. And they also added that he commended the economic reforms being implemented by our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and expressed commitment of the Saudi government to supporting these reforms and also to enable Nigerians to reap the full benefits of everything that they are doing. And according to him as well, he said that Saudi Arabia is very eager to see Nigeria thrive under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and realize its full potential as the economic giant of Africa. They also went ahead talking about how they can also support in terms of insecurity to see how everything just works out well. Congratulations. Hopefully our refineries will start working in no distant time. I think they said they have about 6 months to draw out the proper plan of how they want to go about it. What are the stories?
So I have some France pumps over 200 million into the creative industry. So the Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and the French government have pumped over 200 million naira into the Nigerian creative industry. This was made known at the opening night of the African International Film Festival, that's AFRIF. And so he went on to say that, the governor now went on to say that part of their agenda for this tenure is the infusing of entertainment and tourism as a means of generating income for the state. And so he said over a month ago there was a groundbreaking ceremony of the Lagos Film City, and in that groundbreaking over 100 hectares of land and more than $100 million in investment was pumped into it. And so he says that with this, it is a signpost to show that this government is interested in the development of the creative industry. And so the French ambassador to Nigeria, Emmanuel Blackman, had also revealed that the total sum of 100 million euros has been injected into the Nigerian creative industry through a partnership with the federal government of Nigeria. So this is not just in Lagos State, it is in partnership with the federal government of Nigeria. So we look forward to the Lagos Film City, and he went on to say also that the studio would be world-class studios. So people in the entertainment, in the creative sector of the...
will be able to use Florida, Hollywood. I hope it will be open to the public. There's a way these big wigs will just take over the whole place, and you may not even have an opportunity to use it. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's a story, a sad one, actually, because the bandits suspected to be Fulani headsmen have attacked a coastal school bus belonging to a Catholic school, St. Paul's College, AK in Udi local government area of Enugu State, killing a female student. And according to the principal of the school, Reverend Father Frank, he said that the driver was actually trying to maneuver when the gunmen opened fire on the bus, and instead of waiting for the kids to be kidnapped, he tried his best to maneuver out of that place. But then the students sustained bullet wounds, and one of them have died. One of them died in the cause of it, and 4 are still in the hospital. They're trying to recover from the bullet wounds. So they are calling on the government to help them to, enforce more security measures around that local government, because it's becoming a menace.
All right, let's move on now to the Saturday Punch. Federal government compiles new ambassadors list. Court stops NLC TUC's Tuesday strike. 5.1 million voters elect Imo, Bayelsa, Kogi governors today. Uzodinma Diri battle re-election. Ododo Dino Ajaka Joso to succeed Bello. Security beefed up of INEC offices. Commission vows e-transmission of results. Husband molested my daughter, attacked me for confronting him, Ondo woman. Hit-and-run driver kills Dangote worker in Lagos. Saudi Arabia to invest in Nigeria's refineries, supports forex reforms. 2 killed, 10 injured in Lagos-Ibadan road crash. So I have the story of the member of a Dangote refinery, identified as Joseph Ame, who died after being hit by a vehicle in a hit-and-run accident in the Beju-Lekki area of Lagos State on Thursday. And according to the story, they said the victim was walking along Gulf bus stop along Lekki Expressway when a yet-to-be-identified driver rammed into him. And then when he looked around from his rear mirror and saw that the guy was lifeless on the floor, he turned and ran away, and nobody could trace him. But then the police had waded in, they had moved him into the hospital. They realized that he's dead. The body was already recovered, bruised, removed from the road and taken to the hospital, and then to the mortuary for autopsy and preservation. And I don't know how investigations will commence, because there were nobody to trace maybe the vehicle plate number of the car to find the person who had done this. It's just a very terrible
So the person will continue to live with the guilt of killing somebody.
It's painful. Let's take a short break. When we come back, we continue with the newspaper reviews. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back. So we're still taking the punch. What's stories? Who's ready?
Okay, so Taoma launches foundation to assist the poor. So popular skit maker and comedian Taoma, her real name is Miriam Apokagi. She had made known her plans to start up a foundation which would be to assist the poor in the society. And so she made this known at a courtesy visit to the senator representing Kwara Central Senatorial District, Saliu Mustafa. And the question was raised, why Kwara State? And she said that was where she was giving birth to. So it's like a way of giving back to the land of her birth. And she reeled out the plans of the various programs that she has in place to get this done. And the senator, in response, was open to welcoming her in the state and had pledged his support towards our going ahead and impacting the society.
Amazing. Do we still have another story?
Yes. So in Niger States, the Niger State Police Command has arrested a 51-year-old woman, Blessing Jeremiah, for stealing a 3-year-old girl in Niger State and attempting to transport her to a buyer who had paid her 530,000 naira. So the suspect was said to have stolen the child from her parents in the Tudun Nasira area of Mina, and she was arrested while she was trying to take a luxurious bus. But then the story did not tell us how people around were able to tell that she was not the mother of the child. But when they found out, they called the police operatives, and she said she was taking the child to Anambra to one Mrs. Ejima at Enugu, Anambra State, who had already paid her a deposit of 230,000 naira and had promised to pay her the balance
for a human
when
being.
she delivers the baby. However, the girl has now been reunited with her family.
Thank God.
And yeah, and all efforts are ongoing to apprehend the said Mrs. Ejima in Enugu.
So sad, but there's a good news for those that are living in Enugu State. Port Harcourt to Enugu Expressway, which had collapsed, has one lane but isn't in use. They are now saying that this bridge is going to be getting a repair within the next 10 days. Work starts on Friday. The governor of Enugu State, Peter Mba, and the very active Minister for Works, David Umahi, were both there to affirm and assure the citizens of Enugu State and those that transverse between Enugu and Port Harcourt Expressway that the bridge, this is palliative work. Apparently, there's a supplementary budget. It's part of the budget that is covering the third mainland bridge repair that is also ongoing, as well as this particular bridge. They would be fixing that one lane, at least to provide ease of movement, while long-term, probably next year, there'll be a proper budget for full rehabilitation of the road. But we cannot deny that the Minister for Works is working, is up and about everywhere in Nigeria.
So
we're hoping everywhere gets touched within this first few months of being in government.
Congratulations to people of Enugu State. So let's move on now to Saturday Vanguard. Burna Boy bags 4 nominations. Davido secures 3. Anambra Soludo destroys dreaded shrine. Our people worship money, chief laments. We've re-engineered Edo for growth, Obaseki. Intrigues, fear as 52 men go to war. Diri, Uzodinma battle for survival. Bello fights to install successor in Kogi. How ethnicity may influence voters in Kogi. Should Nigeria adopt a single-term presidency? Enugu Appeal Court upholds Governor Umba's election. Untold reasons Governor Mufwang is under threat. What stories do we have in the Vanguard? I have a story here. So the Anambra State government finally demolished the dreaded Ololo Eke deity in Ekulobia, Agwata local government area of the state. I pronounce them as Ibuge Ekulobia. To make way for the construction of a flyover at the popular Ekulobia roundabout. So they said that the deity held significant reverence among the worshippers in the surrounding communities in Agwata. And a lot of people feared that there might be consequences since the shrine is about to be demolished. And so as a matter of fact, a lot of other governors were not able to do this because of that fear, spiritual fear, consequences, some things may happen. And so they avoid it, but then it causes a lot of traffic on that route. And they said the chief priest of Udo Ololo Eke Okulobia faulted the state government's decision to demolish it, but also urged the government to, if they have to do so, must follow due process. And so, he also mentioned that there are potential repercussions that might follow if there's a forceful demolition of the deity. There was a viral video that went around showing the caterpillar drivers pouring libation in front of the shrine to appease the, the gods before the demolition. Yeah. But the plan is to build a flyover that way to ease traffic for the people.
Sure
and the government, I'm telling you, and the government is saying that this will benefit the people more than just having that shrine. I also talked about how a lot of people are getting into idol worshipping in the state, and they want to find a way to, curtail it, that state is God's own state. So which of the gods now, we don't know.
Good news, though, on a lighter note from the music industry, our artists are making Nigeria proud. They're putting Nigeria on the map, on a global stage. We have the 2024 Grammys, and about 4 Nigerian artists got nomination. I'm talking Thames, Ashake, Aresta, Olamide. These are new nominations. Of course, we have Burna Boy and Davido. 6
I'm telling you.
Nigerian artists. These are people that were from, they are our people here, that are now doing big things. Nominated for Grammys, talking global, not just, some were nominated for Best African, but we had global music.
Wow.
So it is not, we're competing with other R&B songs
before
in that same space. I'm really proud of all these artists, and I love, I don't know, who am I going to even campaign for now? Is it Thames?
No.
Is it Arista?
All of them.
Everybody should just win something.
Nigerian.
Yes,
We'll
Burna Boy broke the jinx,
yeah.
and then we're hoping to see more Grammy Awards coming.
Congratulations.
Good news from the entertainment world. And so moving on to the health sector, this article says that taking 8,000 steps daily reduces risk of premature death.
Wow.
And so we noticed that a lot of people are used to the sedentary lifestyle, such that they enter their vehicles, go to the office, sit down, from office,
go home, lie down.
Go home, lie down. Maybe if they're cooking, there's even a table in the kitchen and a chair where they're just relaxing. And so this article says that if we're able to take 8,000 steps a day, it will drastically reduce the mortality rate of individuals. And it says that 8,000 steps is equivalent to 6.4 kilometers. Right? Every day. Yes, and not just walking. It says a brisk walk. That means walking fast. And the second thing is that the pace of your steps. So for men, it is 76 centimeters. And for women, it is 67 centimeters.
So they cover more ground?
Yes.
Okay.
So it has to be there. And so this article also says that there are no reports concerning the excessive number of steps having led to death.
So continue
walking, just keep walking, right? That it has no disadvantage.
So they cover more steps. I used to wonder how my husband walks faster than me, and I used to feel like I have longer legs than him.
I think,
but then he walks faster, and I'm like, how does this happen?
Apparently.
Scientific, biological.
Yes, science.
Any other story?
No,
okay,
fine.
So let's move on now to the Tribune, Saturday Tribune. Why we arrested husband of mommy calm down woman who committed suicide. Police. Another Muslim cleric arrested with human heads, hands in Ibadan. Fear of violence as Kogi, Imo, Bayelsa elect governors today. Severe consequences await thugs, NSA. We've deployed 40,000 men in Kogi, police. 18 candidates in Bayelsa alleged plots to buy votes. Court stops NLC TUC from going on strike. Strike starts midnight Tuesday, labor unions. Payment of 4-month salaries. No communication yet from the federal government, ASU. Appeal courts validates Enugu governor's election. It is victory for Enugu people, Governor Mba. What stories do we have in the Tribune?
I don't know why I'm taking sad stories today. The headline says, why we arrested husband of mommy calm down woman who committed suicide. Yeah, and that's the police. So the police is saying that they arrested. So the story went viral, I think, a few days ago, that the woman that was seen in the popular video, scolding her son, and the boy was telling the mommy to calm down, mommy, be calming down, and he was trying to negotiate his way out of it. But then that was when they became a sensation, and the calm down even became like a slang. But then it was so sad to hear that she died by hanging herself. But then the police have now arrested the husband, and they're saying the reason they arrested him is because he did not report immediately to the police force. And he said he did it out of, he panicked because he had gone to the market, and then by the time he came back, he saw his wife hanging down from a rope. So from there, he just took her to the hospital, to check if they could still revive her. And when she was confirmed dead, she was taken to the mortuary. And the police are saying that he should have come to them first instead of seeking self-help. But according to a neighbor who spoke under anonymity, he said that he did not notice if they had any issues or whatever.
Before?
Yeah, that they were living happily together. The woman has her job, the man has his job.
Mental health.
And they've never had
issues.
Yeah, so she was quite surprised that kind of thing happened. So fingers crossed.
So going forward, this means that if there's a suicide case,
you go straight to the police.
Yeah.
Even before the hospital. Yeah. The police needs to come and
if she was
ascertain the...
Would they have confirmed?
But I don't think it's logical, because you might not know what that singular act of just quickly taking them to the hospital can do.
The person.
At least try to resuscitate first,
but quickly inform the police immediately as well.
I don't know. For investigation cases. Yeah. Any other stories?
Yes, I'm taking the story about the Ogoni cleanup. So we know the story about Ogoni land has been covered from the international media and local media as well, that the oil spillage caused major ecological damage to the area. It was first reported in 1958. I was celebrating on this set a few years back, the former vice president talking about how the cleanup will start. Till now,
they've not cleaned up.
It's not the way it's expected to go. And so the Minister for Environment, Balarabe Lawal, has gone to the place in the media parley, had a conversation that the National Environmental Program is over 12 years with little progress, but that now they're going to be working with the Ogoni people so that you're not just coming to help them. He said, we believe in planning with the people and not for the people. So the new strategy is to involve them in the cleanup because they've been living with the effects of the pollution for so long. They probably will know where is most effective for you to deal with the issues. So I'm hoping that the people of Ogoni would finally get a proper and total cleanup of the entire area, and I hope we can restore the aquatic life. As in, the place is really a mess, and I'm happy that we're hearing from the Minister for Environment. I'm still waiting to hear from Minister of Power. Sir, what are you doing? What's going on? Everybody else is talking. We've not heard from you. Exactly, because greed is still shutting down, sir.
That's true. Thank you so much, ladies. Let's take a short break now. When we come back, we move on to our hot topics. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So today starts Saturday, and we like to take family relationship stories. Now, a 22-year-old lady took to her social media page and tweeted that the man she refused to marry sent her a wedding video of him and his small wife. According to her, she said she was pained a little, but she does not regret her decision because, firstly, the man was 30 years older than her, and he wanted her to be his second wife, which she had vowed never to be. Plus, she found out that he was also toxic. Now, what are your thoughts on the significant age difference? Should it also be a prerequisite for marriage? What are the impacts of significant age difference in a union? And I would like to get your thoughts on this. But before that, you can join the conversation and call us on 081-270-53687 or 091-390-76948, or tweet to us at TVC Connect using the hashtag YourViewTVC. Ladies and mental gents. So first of all, a man approached you at a very young age for you to get married, and you didn't want to because he was 30 years older than you. And a few years down the line, you find out that he's married and you're feeling a certain type of way. Aside from the fact that he was older than you, he was also toxic, according to your own findings. So my question is, why are you feeling a type of way? Because he's now happily married to a younger wife.
Happily is in quotes.
In quotes, yes, because you don't know. Yeah. Why are you feeling a certain type of way? And when it comes to age difference, you people should tell us. How do you like it? Younger or older?
So
older,
my husband is 10 years older than me, but,
okay,
but this is 30 years.
Okay.
So when I saw when I read the message, her side, she felt sort of like I'm missing out on something.
Yes, that's where I was getting at.
Yeah, she felt there was a feeling like,
oh,
maybe I should have.
Could have been me.
Could have been me. And that's the thing with how we see marriage in this climb. We see marriage as this achievement that if you have not done it, you will not be feeling left out. And many of those that did it are managing the relationship, managing. I was having a conversation, WhatsApp, I'm in a WhatsApp group, and the person was saying, many people managing. How do you feel when you are managing someone and the person breaks up with you? And then you feel very bad because you were managing the person. The person now had the effrontery to break up with you. But why did you manage? You understand? So why did you settle? This lady was, the way she said the message, she was feeling bad that she didn't settle. Yeah. What if just a few days from now you meet the ideal, the one that will connect and help you? age is a number, personally. Maturity is important. Maturity on both sides on what you are going to do in that relationship. I can marry someone 30 years older than me if I have the maturity to handle the difference in our worldview. Because for 30 years age difference, there is a totally different worldview. There's a way the person would talk, the way the person would see life. And if I have the maturity to handle it, and I have the maturity to relate with that person, I can totally marry such a person. I'm married to someone that's 10 years older than me. And there is a difference in worldview,
Are you
even
kidding
within
me?
that 10 years.
Wow.
But I know that I could handle that relationship. So I feel that it is about you knowing what you can handle. And don't wallow in regret of what could have, should have, would have. Just move on.
Well, I think what she was missing, she was just missing the cash and the comforts. Because, yes, because she said it looked like... Yeah, she said that he was taking care of her when she was in uni. So he's okay to pay your bills, but it's not okay to show to the world as Mr. Right. Wow. But for me, I think age difference, age is just a number, just like TMO said. I've seen older men act like babies. I've seen younger men act, very mature. I think before you go into a marriage, compatibility, values, friendship, those are the things that you should look out for. So if he makes you happy, if he makes your tummy rumble with butterflies, if he makes you happy in the other room, in and outside of the other room.
Before you marry.
Yeah, you have to test. You have to just go and check. Yes, because you go and marry somebody that cannot do the do after you marry him. You can just check and confirm that he's working and don't do it again.
Okay, you do the first one to check.
Hey, just check. Check is important. Let us be realistic here.
Let me not say what came to my mind.
You just say, okay, let's not check. No. My face is not carrying down. I must check if something is working. So
my God.
Back to the age difference thing. So it's about the maturity that your partner carries. Personally, I prefer to be with somebody older than I am, maybe 5 or 10 years, because I believe that their life views will be different. They are ahead of me. They can mentor me. I can watch them. I can learn from them. But it doesn't. This age thing, the wisdom does not come with age at all. So
sadly,
yeah, there's a friend of mine that got married to this older man, thinking, he's my protector. This, that. Shege Banza is what she has said.
Oh my God.
She has now left the marriage, but the man is always fighting her like they are mates. Like even if this girl is being a baby, you should be the older person. This is a
more mature person.
Exactly, like Omode she's just being a kid. But no, he's fighting her with his might, with his power, financial. So it really doesn't, wisdom doesn't come with age. It just has to do with the person's personality.
Let me come to you, Toby. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, first, for me, age is not just a number.
I agree with you.
I gotta respect somebody that is older. And so in my mind, that's, this guy is older. My husband is 5 years older than me. Sometimes I do some things and I'm wondering that, but this guy will pass me, do you see? So for me, I think that for a lot of we Yoruba girls that have been raised with the culture of respect, getting into that space of marrying somebody that is really older, some like it, yes, but the question of how far is too far for this person. So for somebody I'm married to, I want to play with the person,
hit your head,
hit, move, touch everything, but sometimes it may now come in my mind that, but this guy is older. That's where your conversation of other things, friendship, your conversation of maturity comes in, knowing fully well that when you people are married, you're one, right? And there's this Yoruba adage that says, "Unkonte Yoruba feje, koma fe."
Don't sniff it.
For this lady, she knew.
No, please. Are you not transcribed? I don't understand. All of us are not Yoruba here now. Because transcribe what you just be translate.
What you don't want to eat,
don't smell it.
Smell it. Okay. Apologies. So for this lady, before she started dating him, she knew he was toxic, 30 years older. So when he now went on with somebody else, you are now saying, my reasons are number 1. He's older.
Didn't you know?
Didn't you know? Did he just become 30 years older than you?
All of a
sudden.
But you were chopping his money.
Yes,
he was not older then.
You were chopping his money. You were enjoying everything else. Didn't you know that he had a wife? you now came.
The Alhaji, Alhaji can marry as many.
Number 2, he wanted me to be second wife, which I vowed not to ever be. Auntie, did you just vow?
Money.
After you chop
the money. And for the third reason, she said it was toxic.
Which is quite
Somebody that is toxic would have been showing you a bit of
traces of toxicity.
You go just say, I know what I'm here for. Let me just stick to it. And that's a mistake a lot of women make.
Yep.
Where it is that they see the bad parts of somebody and
Red
they
flags.
know in their minds that they can't take it. But because this man is good in some other parts, they now wing it off. Now, looking at it now, he sends her a video of him getting married to somebody else.
Why is he sending her the video?
Toxicity.
Why?
That's an insult.
Now, like, look at what you're missing. Actually, she also said that the girl looks exactly like her, same shape, same color, same everything.
I see what happened there.
Then the fourth reason,
I think Alhaji fell in love.
Has a lot of money to take care of me, which he was generous about. I cannot lie, but that's not enough reason for me to marry him. Auntie, when you were chopping the money, you didn't know.
No, but Toby, please. Let me hold you there. What do you mean when you were chopping the money you didn't know? Must you date for marriage? It's a question.
That's another topic.
Yes, so must you date for marriage? Must every relationship lead to marriage? People date for different reasons. You can want to date you because you can powerhouse in the other room. I want to date you because you're fine. When we go out, everybody is drooling all over you. I can want to date you because you help me, you sort out my bills and everything. People date for different reasons. Don't make it seem like because we are dating, we must.
Okay, so I think it's about worldview. I think it's about worldview. I only dated for marriage.
I don't know what's chasing you from your house.
Nothing particularly.
You didn't want to sample and explore.
If I just see you, I will size you up. I cannot marry you. I'm not gonna date you. So that was my worldview. So I do not understand when people date for other reasons or just date for friendship or just date for, I don't know, I don't see those things. But please let me ask her, why is she doing a symposium conversation on why is she writing episode?
On Twitter.
To
the level where they pen up. Now it's right. So
she invited us to the symposium of her life and her regrets on her not deciding to marry a man 30 years older.
Let me pause it up. I'm coming back to you. So let's take Ayomide from Ikorodu. Good morning, Ayomide.
Sorry.
We lost that, yeah.
You know, it is the idea that we feel we need to, I believe in expressing yourself. It is so powerful that coaches, therapists will say journal. But the journal is supposed to be your private moment to put your thoughts down. When we put it on social media, we don't realize the fact that we're dropping a part of us to the world that we cannot take back. So what she has put out now, that prospective new husband that she's going to marry, her children that she's going to meet, would size her up based on her past and be judged. They'll say this is who she is. So you used to date a 30-year-old person
for money,
like this money, but you were not willing to marry. And then from the tone of this message, it seems you regret not. We did a lot of silly things as young people.
God saved us.
God saved us.
That there was no social media.
Imagine if you had put it out there. There was a young girl that was rusticated from school for displaying rishi on TikTok. She was dancing, twerking. Did she not know that this would would have impact on her being in school? So I listened. I saw the list. I empathize with the momentary emotion she was feeling, but I do not feel it was a wise decision to put it on social media.
Let's take this call. Ezekiel from Ikorodu. Good morning, Ezekiel.
Good morning.
Good morning. You're live.
Something is wrong with our line.
I think something is wrong with that. So let's go back to the age difference that started this conversation. We'll look at the toxic parts later on. I personally don't believe that there's age in marriage. There should be a question of age in marriage. Because if we can be on the same bed and be vulnerable with each other, I see your nakedness, you see my nakedness. There's no age. It doesn't mean that I will not respect you, but it just means that we are working together. So all those do you know how old, should not come into that space. I can hit your head when we are playing because I am your wife. I have a right to. No other person should do that for you. So once we get into that space of marriage, I think the age thing should be scrapped. Everybody should just know their place and respect each other. But personally also, I never was interested in anybody who was older. I think it's a matter of preference. Some people like them older, some like them younger, some like them the same age. I was in that category of, it has to be my age grade, sort of, you know, and that was why it was easy for me to date students in the university. When all my friends were dating people who had graduated and were working, I started dating students because that was just where I wanted to play. And luckily for me, one of them, I met a smart one that was wise, that you couldn't even tell his age by his actions, right? So it was good for me. But when it comes to age, and I hear people say, I'm married to this woman, I took 30 years, I took 40 years from her, I look at the relationship. I'm also worried for the men who are way older than the women, because we were told that once a woman hits 40, the libido
will
triples. Their body will be charging up and down.
I didn't know.
At that point, when your husband is now 70, who will help that woman? It's something I always consider. Who will be there to help that woman? And I've seen a lot of women who are not able to have that intimacy and companionship at that age. They are usually very miserable. And I didn't want that. I want, let us be doing fire, and we're getting old.
We'll be coming down together.
Yes, we're coming down together. You are getting tired. I'm getting tired. We are on the same level. So I don't know. What do you guys think about that? The fact that when the woman is now 40, you are likely the man is likely 70. What happens to the woman at her peak?
Wow. There are some 70-year-olds that are hot.
You know,
on Instagram, you see some
hot
nice...
is not strength.
Well, I've seen some older men that have entered my eyes before. So I say, this man is 60-something, will be fit.
Did you try them out?
Why would I go and follow somebody else's
now, so that you have
I just said it entered my eye.
Yeah.
I said, this man...
Our eyes let me pause you. We have that day for London before we lose you now. Come back to you. Good morning, Ade.
Good morning, ladies. How are you today?
We're doing amazing,
thank you.
All of you are looking gorgeous.
Thank you.
Regarding the topic, I think the best thing is that there's nothing wrong if the man is older than the girl, but he must have money. Money matters in this
can't
situation.
suffer twice.
Wow.
Because if you observe anybody's name, you can give two examples in Nigeria that a younger girl marries an older person, but they are in money, they are billionaire. So that will help the girl's psyche. Even though she's feeling low on libido, maybe at that time she's feeling that they released a new iPhone on the market. She got it, she will forget about the libido. She will be busy with the iPhone. So when money matters, when it comes in there. But when there's no money, don't do it. So marry your age. That is my own advice. But money matters in such things.
Thank you.
What's
that perspective? You were saying something.
Yeah, I really like his perspective. So I was saying that, I've seen some older men that, take really good care of themselves. They look very fit. You see them playing golf, and you go, this uncle is entering my eyebrows. Maybe my mommy's age mate's husband, But then we also have Alafin of Oyo, for example, that was still birthing till he died.
Birthing is different from
Alafin was still firing and giving birth. So the fact that there's a 70-year-old, there are some young men that still need okpenyi, they still need to mix and put all of these herbal things together. Most of these young men, they're like that. So you see people selling herbs on Instagram, say, come and take this one to extend, take this one to fire, this one ta-ta-ta, this one. I'm like, you people are still young. What are you doing with your strength? So if you build yourself up in a very healthy manner, you are fit. I don't think a 70-year-old man, that shouldn't be a woman's fair for marrying an older man.
How many times have I called you on this table? Damola,
I think
first,
4 or 5.
Getting a woman pregnant does not require much. You can just proceed and exit, and Bele have come, right?
Correct.
The energy of your youth is what I'm talking about now. So whether you are 70, you are kept, you are fit, you can do muscle and all of that. How many pumps can you go? That's what some people would like. Because when a woman is 40, Yeah,
the different
thing.
thing.
I'm telling you something, you're laughing.
Aside from how active someone can be in the other room, because truly, some marriages I've experienced, they are extremely compatible sexually, but they are not compatible intellectually, and they break up.
Yeah, sure.
You know, so it takes more than sexual compatibility to have a successful marriage. So if you find someone who is 70 and you guys are having, or you who is 30 years older and you're balling in the other room, but you can't have conversation, the person cannot go on social media. What is Twitter? When did they become X?
I will school you.
What is TikTok? Like, the conversation is different. You know, like, the world view is total. You can't relate.
Yeah. That's what Mr. Day is saying, that in that case, the money is the compensation.
Thank you.
So, I understand. And Lily said, you know, there's a very popular friend of the family that they have massive age gap. And they're everywhere together, looking very happy, like, things are working for them because there's a lot of money. Yeah. Sometimes money can blind your eye to the things that are obvious to you when you are poor. Yeah. So, but she obviously regrets the fact that she made this decision. From what she said, she has to make a list to remind herself of why she did not go there. And we need to talk about regrets, because sometimes we make decisions and we must be able to stand by this one and move on. Instead of going back and looking, checking what you don't leave. You don't come out. Move.
Yeah. Let's take a breather here. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. In this conversation, we're moving now to how to handle regrets, or should you even have regrets at all? I'm someone who doesn't like to use the words what if, because I've come to an understanding that it's always greener on the other side. And whatever decision I make, I want to own it with my full chest. I want to stay with the consequences. I want to stay with the outcomes and work with what I have to make my life better, instead of constantly looking over. So let me give you an instance. It may not be related, but something close. There was a time I had an opportunity to go to the UK, to relocate to the UK when I was still very young, for modeling, right? They had sorted me with a fashion house in the UK. You know, they had started processing the documents that was needed for me to relocate. But I didn't go because of what? Man. I'm telling you, now God saved me. Thank God he married me. Now God saved me. I didn't go because of man. And I sit back, one day it crossed my head and I'm like, would I have been happy being a fashion model? Maybe got into, by the grace of God, to maybe the level of Agbani Derego or Lucci, who are international models and all of that, with probably not having a home and a lovely man like this person. Or am I better off that I took this decision? But whatever the case is, I'm not looking at, maybe I would have been happier if I was a fashion model and all of that. I'm working with what I have, and I'm grateful for where I am, and I'm grateful for the decisions that I took. I may not have, taken the decisions clear-eyed, or how would I say it? I may not have had all the blocks. Sometimes you take decisions, you don't see the future. Nobody sees the future. You just go with your gut feeling. And I went with my gut feeling, and I'm grateful for going this way. I don't think back, now wow, what if?
But basically, if we're being
or maybe,
realistic,
maybe
5 years ago,
maybe if the marriage wasn't so good. 10
years ago, which is very early in marriage. And very early in marriage, 5 years into marriage is always the rocky season. We're happy, but we're like, we have plenty, we're seeing all the weaknesses. 5 years ago, you probably would think about it and be like, was it a good decision? And over time, it is a very good decision. I am happy with it. Well, I'm not saying it concerning you. I'm saying that usually, when we go back to regrets, we will not be able to see the joy. We will not be able to see the opportunity of where we are. We will lose sight of the good things that are happening around us because we are thinking about what we felt we missed. But if you just keep focusing on oiling or working and growing yourself, this same girl that a 30-year-old man is flaunting one babe to, you would marry a young contemporary person, you grow your wealth together, or you marry a wealthy person. 5 years down the line, you'll be like,
thank God
I did not marry that
You make a video and send to him.
So regret will cost you. It will cost you present joy and future opportunities.
Yeah.
So I'm not a fan of regret at all. I'm an optimist that feels like I'm not going to go back and I can't change the past, but I can make my future better. But if I look at regret, it will cost me future opportunities.
Yeah.
And it is important to learn from the experiences and the mistakes you made. So even if you feel regret, you must get to a point where you ask yourself, what did I do wrong? How do I avoid such mistakes from happening again, right? And I think there are a lot of people live in the past. So rather than them moving forward to achieve other things, they end up staying and wishing that if I had made a decision 10 years ago, and because of that, they are unable to move forward and achieve other things in life, right? And for the lady that got married, that said she was 22, I remember when I was on campus, I was in my second year, there was this guy I met, and the next thing, he came to me. First time meeting him, he said, I want to marry you.
Straight up.
Nay, I ran away.
Why?
I ran because I was young. My life was just starting. How do you want to come and... I never experienced life. You now want to come and use marriage. You didn't even say, I like you, I want to date. You want to marry straight.
No.
That's what someone would have wanted.
And the guy was doing well, very okay, rich, everything, right? But I said, for me, I think there's more to life.
Yeah.
Let me explore and make a decision by myself.
An informed
Let me
decision.
see options and now say by myself, oh, I'm not the one I want. Right? So I think that for younger girls, yes, there's the pressure of, it's better as you finish school, just get married. But life is happening. And if you're clouded with the little that you know from one campus, one state, when you are able to see men from South Africa, from UK, from London, from
Ghana,
Asia,
The world is big, oh. There are many fishermen.
yes, you
Like
now say,
point and kill.
And again, it's not one person you can marry in this life.
At all. I agree with you.
You know, talking about it's not one person that you can marry in this life. There are so many opportunities that you can explore to excel. So when you are regretting one action, you're just totally wasting your time unless you have not fully discovered your own potential to see how you can, so how you can apply yourself. You don't have just one talent now. You can do so many other things. So by the time you start regretting and say, I should have done this, I should have done that, it then clouds your creativity, your creative mind that you cannot see the future. And that brings me to, I'm going to cite some entertainers as examples. You'll find some entertainers blaming their record labels for making them go broke. Oh, you did not give me, you did not pay me my
this
royalties,
that,
you did not do this, you did not do that. Oh, you stole my song. Okay, they stole your song. Sing another one now.
Let's not even go there.
You're a talented person. Sing, don't just wallow in that regret and think that your life cannot take up from there. There are so many opportunities to excel, so don't box yourself. And Auntie Alhaji, I'm sure it's the money that you miss, but you are a fine girl. The picture that I saw, and she's also, is it Hajia? So you will definitely find so many other men that
so you know,
spread the
to
money.
every decision, there are pros and there are cons, always advantages and disadvantages. The advantages of marrying a young person, and there are also disadvantages of marrying a young person. Likewise, an older person. But I think that a lot of women don't consider the disadvantages for marrying an older person at all, especially if the person is wealthy. They just, maybe there's money. I'll be able to take care of myself. I'll just, you know, I'll have that peace. I can fly to Dubai today, fly to this person tomorrow. But not realizing that if anything happens, everybody prays for good health, right? Which can also happen to a young person. But anything happens and the person is no longer able to give your children that energy for raising, because every child or children in families are supposed to have that collaborative energy from both mommy and daddy to raise them. But this man is now too old. Maybe when the last born is coming, he's already over 70. He can no longer change diaper. He can no longer play with the child at that level. And then the child is left to be raised with. No, so, some persons get to that point and they start regretting. That's what I'm saying. They don't think through that this can happen. How do I shore up myself?
How would my 60-year-old husband be at the first-year party of my child?
Yeah, exactly.
how can my husband and I go for the a 1-year birthday party of my peers?
Yes.
Like there's no, he's not related.
There's no connect.
You look like grandpa.
Exactly.
Whose grandpa came here?
Yeah.
And that can also, we don't see that far.
We don't see that far.
We're
That's
always
what I'm
focusing
saying.
on.
I think
side.
it's just you. Sorry to interrupt you, Toby. I think it's just the way you think. There are so many people that do not care about. Look at Regina Daniels and her husband. The age gap, the look, everything, like
and
their mouths, but they are doing lovey-dovey. In fact, when they post any story about her, if you go through the comment section, you see people saying that this is the only person that has made the wisest decision. Regina Daniels made the wisest decision.
Because she married money.
Hey, do not say we are sorry. Regina, we are sorry. We should not have bashed you. So there.
Toby,
please.
Toby saying my beloved.
No, sweetheart, hold on. Let's take this call. I'll come back to you, ladies. Aziz, good morning, Aziz.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
We're doing amazing.
Pertaining to what you people are discussing, my father-in-law, he got married to a lady who my wife is even 2 years older than. And this my father-in-law happens to use a whole 34 years older than the lady. But now I think the lady is doing well in his house because my mother-in-law and the other woman, which is the one that is behind my mother-in-law, they are now treating this particular girl as a daughter. Because this lady now has 3 kids. And then I know my father-in-law because as a man-to-man, we discuss at times like based on man. Like this man do tell me that the way he does not regret marrying this lady because this lady really keep him intact with the other women because those other women are old. They are above 50, and then he was not able to look outside due to this younger lady is having around him. And now this lady we are talking about, this man was able to take care of him, that this lady is controlling over $20 million business for now. And she's married, she's happy. And if I should tell you how this marriage happened, just like, okay, my friend is going to Ilorin, assist me in taking my younger sister along. That's how they hook up and something leads to marriage.
And the rest is
this your father-in-law is a sharp guy.
No, it's vice versa. You know, so look at now, my younger sister again, he got married to 2 different silly guys who are not even ready for the marriage. And now the people coming to her now, this was something we discussed last week, that it's the older men that are coming to her that they want her hand in marriage. I was not like, how old are these people calling? Because I do see you calling during the night and days. And I said, some are even older than our dad. I said, hey, what is the big deal in it? My own father-in-law got married to somebody who is even younger than our own daughter. So you two get married if the man that has money.
Does your father-in-law have money?
Off the mic.
No, the money is there. No,
the money is there.
Yes. What's the money?
They say, take our daughter to Ilorin, your wife. Father-in-law.
So,
drive the girl to school, you turn her to wife.
I'm telling
you are not saying it's exciting you. The other ones are old.
Yeah.
Those old women too are taking this one as daughter. Let me take care of my husband. You are taking care of our husband.
Wow.
It's a different world.
You know the funny thing? My grandpa, I mentioned on the show that my mom has 18 younger ones. So when my mom was giving birth, my grandpa was also still giving birth. So one of my aunts, if I say auntie, she said, I beg no call me auntie Joy, you want to embarrass me. But because we're like age mates, right? And when you spoke about the fact that if your husband and yourself go for a 1-year-old birthday, you cannot relate. But there are people that don't have their children early. So there was this person I got to know, was a colleague of my mom. He had his first child when he was 57. And that party was, they had waited on God for...
It was a landmark.
So it was a festival. Like they really went, and everybody, my mom, who would normally not go for a child's birthday, went, and it was, hot like that. So there's some cases where even though you feel it's not relatable, until you hear their stories, you would now put yourself in that position to relate.
Yeah.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I just think people should do what works for them.
Yeah.
If it's an older man that works for you, by all means, do not think about what the society would think. Go for it and be happy. If you think it's the younger one that it works for you, go for it and just be happy. So do not let society decide for you what is right or what is wrong. There's no right template for who to
anybody
choose to marry in terms of age brackets. Just, get your values right and choose right and pray to God to lead you.
Yeah, but what is the role of the family in this case? So sometimes you bring a man home and the family will say, no, this one that is older than your father. Why do you want to bring this kind of person? But then you are always attracted to people who are your father's age. I was reading something recently. It was online, and they were saying that sometimes women who marry older men, like 20, 30, 40 years older than them, have father issues, daddy issues. There's a form of insecurity that's attached to probably they didn't have a very good relationship, and so they are seeking out their father in their husband. So how do you determine who has father issues and who is seeking out, who is trying to make the man a father in the ages of the people that they pick? So are we saying now that anybody who is attracted to very older men, we have to start checking you that you don't have father issues?
Honestly, you know what Oye said already sort of asserts that for some people, their daddy issues are their reality and they should be allowed to exploit. And like you said, you're not stuck with it. The fact that you've married an older person, if you feel that your life is not fulfilled or that you made a wrong decision or things are not living up to the expectation that you have, you can move on. You
can leave the marriage.
And you can, no. I mean, I'm not against divorce if your life is threatened. And sometimes our emotions, the fact that you are emotionally being drained and you're in a toxic place or you're not feeling, you can't blossom, is a place for you to live. So you are married, but we're going to manage the marriage until you're in your 60s or you're in your 50s, you discover you have cancer. And we know what cancer is based on: protracted negative emotion for a very long time, that you have held on to something you should not be holding on to. Let it go quickly and move on. Your life is far ahead of you and it is not defined by marriage.
Yeah. Let's take this call. Bright from Ago, and then we'll wrap up the topic. Good morning, Bright.
Yeah, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Okay, concerning the topic on ground, I just came in not quite long, but I want to turn the table around, and I like you all to be sincere. The question is this: you all are married, I know, and would you have your son marry a lady that is 10 years older than your son? I'd like you all to be sincere, because I actually heard that age is not an issue when it comes to marriage. Yet I heard all of you say that, but I just want to turn the table around a bit. Would you have your sons marry a lady who is older than him with 10 years? I want you guys to be sincere. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. I have had the conversation with my son on this. Yes, we're in the US and went to a seafood place. We're just having my sister was there. We were having a conversation and he was, I've forgotten what brought about the topic, and he was like, Mom, is there anything wrong if my wife is older than me? I first pinched myself. I said, it's not as serious. No, Mommy, I just want to know, is there anything wrong if I bring a woman who is older than me to marry? I said, but why do you want to marry? He said, no, I may love her and I want to marry her. Is there anything wrong? I dodged responding to that question. But I know that at the end of the day, I will not be the one to tell him what he wants. I'll just look at, and I explained some things. I said, one of the reasons parents don't want women or men to marry women that are older than them is because even your age mates, as a boy and a girl, the girls mature faster. This has been scientifically proven. Yeah. The girls are more ready for certain type of things, while the boys are still in that boyish mode, playful mode and all of that. Girls mature really faster. Now, if your age mate, you can't even marry your age mate, you know that you are more mature as a girl than the man. Except in few cases where the men are really mature, maybe upbringing or just destiny or however it is. But then you now marry your own age mate as a boy. Is more mature than you, right? The girl counterpart is more mature than you. Then you marry a girl that is 10 years older than you. Just check the gap of the maturity. And I feel like you may be maltreated in the marriage. You're just dealing with somebody who is more manipulative, more cunning, more smart. Women, we have all these things. Let's not deceive ourselves. We were born with them, right? And always scary for the mother to say, are you sure my son will not be suffering certain things? So I left the conversation there, but I know that he will still ask me. That my boy is very curious. He will still ask me. But when he gets to that age and it's what he decides, I'm not going to stop his happiness because I feel he should marry someone who is younger than you. You have 3 boys.
Yes, so I do have 3 boys. All I do when I think about my kids is to just send prayer ahead into
the future
that they're going to bring me daughters, amazing women, and I'll be a wonderful mother-in-law to them. But the reality is, the journey of being a parent never ends. Even when they have children, you're looking over them and looking over their children. You want everything to turn out right for them. But the response, they have their own life. And would I be concerned if my kids come up with an older woman to marry? Yes, I will be concerned. Would I stop them? No, I won't. I would do my part, which is support with prayer, and prepare them to be able to make smart decisions. So I know that if I've prepared my children to make smart decisions, whatever the decision is, I'll be comfortable with it because I know they've thought through it. I've already given them the skill of critical thinking. When we go back to this topic, though, talking about marrying an older man, marrying an older woman now, to just put a bit of balance to it. BC established why people are scared of marrying older women, because people are scared that the older women will be more cunning and manipulative. But older men are that way too. Why do older men go for younger girls? Because they can, not just excitement, I can dominate. There is no threat whatsoever of you being rude or talking back to me. There is a clear, defined, I am the man. 30 years older than you, 20 years older than you. You will worship the ground I walk. You will bring me the food and
to the bed.
You know, all those kind of things are not, it's not a contemporary conversation anymore. It is because I am older. So the ego of the man is being stroked by the fact that I have a younger girl. Once she's young, she's pretty, she's exciting, and then she would worship the ground I walk on and providing for all her needs. So it also satisfies that cunning, manipulative nature of, so whatever, once you bring in an older person who has more experience, the dynamics that will be different, except the younger person knows what I'm going for. In which case, on this table, we seem to have accepted the fact that if there's money, we can turn the other eye when we marry a younger person. Because there are several, we are complimenting, what's her name, Regina. We know the popular.
Which people are complimenting?
Even our president.
Nigerians.
The people
social
in the
media is complimenting. We know our former president is 81, official age 81, and the wife is 52. So that's over 30-year difference. I heard about Abidoye to Keshete that able to do a big age difference.
I did not gist to people. You know, my father has a girlfriend.
You thought I know that.
He went to pay something.
Are you serious?
Yes, last weekend something.
That's what we're talking
Is
about.
the girlfriend like our?
Yes, now.
The babe.
Yeah, we're older.
Just a little.
She should be like 30 now.
My goodness.
Yes, a senior am.
Wow.
By far.
Maybe Papa just needs some kind of excitement.
My son met his cousin, and she was like, Auntie, it came from Norway. I said, she's your cousin. Your dad is her nephew. So she's a niece to your dad. I say, how does that happen? Like, she's way old. Why? Because your daddy was born very young. He's older.
We're already giving birth
before my dad was born. It's complex in relationship explanation. That you will start saying that you are my younger one, but my children are older than you. I have grandchildren that are older than you, but you are my younger sister.
I have aunties I'm older than. Two aunties I'm older than. How are they my aunties when I'm older than them? You know, because when my grandfather was still giving birth, my father had started birth.
When he was in active service.
I'm telling you.
Very confusing word. We hear he's shim, he's them, he's they. Now, his auntie, his cousin, his first cousin, nephew, your... don't confuse me. Let's keep it simple.
This matter of love and woman and relationship matter is quite complicated. We cannot really dissect it and fully exhaust it. People would still do what they want to do. If a 70-year-old man sees a 22-year-old girl and says, baby girl, I like you, there's nothing the society can do about it. And that's why we keep having, you know, kids that are older than their aunties and uncles here and there. So taking it back to that question that the last caller asked about if we would allow our sons to marry an older woman. I personally would not allow it.
Eh?
Yes.
If he decides and he insists that this is the person I love, what would you do?
If he decides,
and
well,
insists.
maybe I can, because his happiness
should be
it's paramount. But if I see danger, both of us will put legs inside the same trouser.
You'll be warning the wife back to back.
Exactly. And then even if the wife, the older woman, was supposed to be my sister, I would not allow her marry my son, because what do they want to be doing in that kind of a marriage? Because the man is expected to be the leader.
To be in front.
Look, I'm even coming to that. Then, if you look at Emmanuel Macron and his wife, look at that age difference. Now the woman is looking so aged. Macron is there looking very, dapper and tapping. It's just not. It's not giving what he should give. And I do not want my son to end up with that kind of.
Let me pause you. We have Reggie from Agege. Good morning, Reggie.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, ladies.
We're doing amazing.
Yeah. First of all, let me just go straight to the point. To me, in this present 21st century, I don't see anything wrong in having...
Speak up a bit, please. I can hardly hear you.
I said in this 21st century, I don't see anything wrong, getting married to a lady getting married to a guy who is younger than. I don't see anything wrong with it, as long as they find joy, happiness.
Oh,
they're good. I had some relationship I was supposed to keep long ago. And you people know this. I won't mention the name, but the person presently is a public figure. She's 10 years young. She's 10 years older than the guy.
Oh.
Presently.
Wow.
And they are happy. And I called. I never knew that she was this old like that. I was older than her, but now she got married to somebody who she is far older than. But I'm happy for them, as long as they find joy and happiness.
And happiness, yeah.
No, yeah, that is what matters. So whoever is coming into such, to just be prayerful, like what she said. Just be prayerful. I have an uncle who is almost my age. When I ask my
and you his uncle. We always have them.
My mom would tell me that this is my cousin. This is her cousin. And now look, I said, your cousin? She said yes. That means she's my uncle. She said yes. So I've gotten into physical combat with him some years ago. That is very hard. I mean, having a car, right? I see this guy, and one day, you go rack, and I will beat you. I don't mind saying he's my uncle. I will beat you blue black.
Wow.
But I still give him his respect because he's my mom's cousin, and I wouldn't want to, take that away from him.
So that's prayer. There's no template for anything.
I have a friend who is not yet married, but she says that all the guys that come at her are usually younger than her. Oh. And so when it gets to the age conversation, she's like, no, I don't want. And as a result of that, she's still unmarried.
Why is she attracting them, though?
Do you see? So
maybe that's her destiny.
I'm telling you, she didn't tap in.
Yeah. So this is a revelation. No?
Yes, so
let us give some people victory.
There's some ladies that their families or even themselves have the mindset of saying that I can never marry somebody older than me or younger than me. And that's the age is just a number that
we talked about.
You believe in. And there's also the family question where it is that the husband or the boyfriend and the girlfriend would actually hide their age from the family.
Yes, so that they will not
go through the process. Yes, they agree within themselves that this thing, let's keep it a secret. When she goes, good afternoon, everybody just thinks that.
But you'll be able to tell.
No,
you can't tell. Sometimes you can't tell.
You can't tell.
So by the time they now go through that process, most times I found out that a couple, the parents found out when they were about to sign the marriage register.
The real age.
They can't see age. They can't see age.
What's going on?
Was this a mistake?
What a call.
You know, and the boy was like, no, mommy, it's the real age. We'll talk about it later. But you see that at that point, it was
there was no
going
back. They could have done.
So there are cases
There
like
was
that
nothing.
also that the boyfriend and girlfriend would have to use wisdom to go through the process.
So we have a caller, Mark Anthony from Abulegba. Good morning, Mark Anthony.
Yeah. Good morning.
You're live.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I really appreciate you people effort. I always love the topic. It's just that sometimes when you try, I don't get you people. And I want to say something about the topic. See, there is nothing wrong in anybody marrying somebody older than you. It depends how you define the marriage, how you define the way you are going to, because marriage is just a destiny or a destination. So I see, like, I want to take an example. I'm marrying somebody that I'm older than 10 years. But the way we are relating in the house, and the reason I'm marrying the person is because I didn't want to marry somebody that's younger than me. Yeah, I wanted to marry somebody that is of that age so that we can flow. And discover that my wife sometimes we have her say, let me use it. Sometimes, my wife will say something, so funny. Me, I will say it back to her. It's just like that. It's all about maturity. It's not just age. But as I am, I cannot marry somebody that is young, is too young for me. That is the truth. Maybe I'm 85. I cannot marry somebody that is 18. No, I will not flow. Let me use the word. Let me marry somebody that is almost the age bracket so that we can flow. That's the truth. I don't advise anybody marry for instance, a lady that is maybe 18, you marry somebody that is 40. Sorry to say, you will not flow because there are some things you're supposed to do. You will look at it as insult. You cannot flow. Let me use the word. That is just my contribution. It's not all about age. It's all about what you want.
Yeah, I like that. You know that this issue came up during my own marriage. My father-in-law was of the opinion that a man must be 10 years older than the wife, right? And when my age came up, like, a guy is just 2 years older. Women have a way of looking older in future.
But right now, babe, you are 16 now.
Sweetie, I had to take care of myself. First of all, I'm blessed with good genes.
Exactly, you're an exception to the rule.
And, I am deliberate about taking care of myself because I don't want them to say, hey, but we told you now that you now yakap and be looking older than you in a few years' time after having children. So sometimes, and he insisted that this is the person I want. And also, a matter of respect came in. Will she be able to respect you? Will she I am sorry. I don't respect you because of age. I respect you when you respect me because you are my husband. Because I respect everybody. My house helps, I respect, So for me, it's not about the age difference. I had another person come into the family who was, the difference is about 6-7 years. She's so disrespectful, even though they had taken over 7 years from her age. And I'm like, I told my husband, I said, have I ever in our entire life spoken to you?
That. Yeah.
He said, no.
I am
shocked.
It's who you are.
I am sure. And I say, in village meeting, all of us will sit down together. I used to yap my husband. I say, in village meeting, we are age mate. We'll sit down on the same table.
In the same group.
Age grade. We'll sit down on the same table. So for me, it's about knowing what you want. Absolutely. And respecting your head. As a woman, you should respect your head. Whether you're older than the woman, you're making more.
Based on our culture.
Based on our culture. Even any other culture. The cultures that have survived. Yes. So far, in terms of marriage and family, always have this respect dynamic that's working. It's those ones that want to do cocoa head. I cannot respect my husband because I'm making more money. That usually fall into that.
But Toby was going to provide deliverance for some people.
So those young women,
forget it.
Toby, tell us, those young women.
She mentioned it and passed, and I want us to go back there because somebody watching right now is about to be delivered.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
You have been attracting
young people,
men, or you are attracting younger men. Do not let the fact that this, if they have been coming consistently within the same age range, please. Marry.
Please, before I don't lower your standards. Excuse me, darling. Let's take this call. Then I'll come to you before people start fighting about standards. Shola, good morning.
Go to standard. Don't go to standard.
Good morning,
Good morning
to all the ladies in the studio.
Morning.
God bless you all.
Thank you.
Yeah, you see, the truth is that I, as a person, I cannot marry somebody that is older than me. Okay. I'm older than my wife. And I will not allow my son to marry any lady that is older than them.
You can't stop him, sir. He's your son. He has the right to his own life.
It is my son. No, yes, he has his own life, but I won't agree to that kind of marriage. From the place I came from, from the place I came from, we respect age. Okay. We respect age. Like Ogbomoso, I came from Ogbomoso and Djibouti. We respect age. So you understand? Because if you now marry somebody, a lady that is older than you, you can't be a man. Honestly, you can't be a man in that marriage. You can't have control of that marriage because there are some things. Because there are some things the lady will do. If you just try to remember and know, remember her age, you will not want to take the action, the responsible action you need to take. And that is the reason why I will not allow my son to marry somebody that is older than him. I won't.
So if your son insists, you will not go for the wedding, you will not bless the marriage. Is that what you're saying?
I won't go for the wedding, no. I'm telling you, I won't go for the wedding. Honestly, I won't allow my son to marry.
How old is your son now?
Do you have children now? Do you have a son now?
Well, in fact, by the grace of God, I'm the grandfather of 4.
Okay, you have already
my first son is married. The first child is about 10 years old.
Okay. Yeah, it's a different world.
The first son is about 10 years old.
Okay.
So,
I understand.
And he married somebody that is older.
I get you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir, Mr. Shola. Thank you. Thank you.
So, she was saying standard. I was saying
start with your advice.
Yes, I was saying standard. But what I was going to say is that lower your requirements. All of us, or most of us, would have said, tall, dark, handsome. That's the requirement I had in choosing the person I wanted to marry. I'm talking about the age.
Okay.
So, some people may have said tall, dark, handsome. We find out that today, short, fat,
just make me happy.
That we now eventually
ended up with.
So, and I think that comes from a place of knowing that aside the physical look, aside age as a number, there are other things that we need to look out for in choosing our spouses.
So that lower your standard, Auntie?
No, she has repackaged it. For me, I do not believe in lowering your standards because you will just be setting yourself up for breakfast. They will just break your heart because they can sense the desperation in you when you lower your standards. Okay. What you want is what you want. Okay. If it comes, fine. If it doesn't come, well,
can you settle?
Fine.
Can you compromise?
I cannot settle. I cannot compromise.
Doesn't even like the word.
What I want is what I want. Okay. And if I believe that this is what I want, I believe what I want is what I get. What I want is what I attract. Yeah. Exactly. So don't settle. Don't. And then because you've also been mentioning it about marriage, you do not have to then lower all your standards because you want to be a wife. You want to be a wife, and then you now be miserable in it. And please, women, I'm also an advocate of women not marrying down. Don't marry someone you are older than. Do not marry someone you have more money than. Because
age and wealth.
Age is included.
Yes. Age and wealth, because just like the last caller said, there are some things that the woman would do, and then you just, as a man, you feel emasculated. That is it because you're older than me? Is it because you have money than me?
Probably feel that.
Exactly. And then maybe the woman just did the thing out without even thinking about it. But the first thing that will come to your mind is it because you have money than me? Is it because you're older than me? So it is a red flag as a woman. You should not. Men are already positioned to be the head. They are the leader. So let him lead, you follow. So
give him an opportunity to be the leader.
So, but that is no more a number again.
Yeah, value perspective. See,
I heard.
Yes.
Let's just take it away from there.
Different for different folks, and she already mentioned that do you. So I think that do you ultimately covers everything, and the last opinion is her personal opinion. So yeah, watching, take the one that suits you. Out of one of the things we have dropped on the table today. But one key thing is you must learn to study the trends. Yeah. If I've worked for many years, smart work as a makeup artist, and I would have to do a lot to get $1 million. And I realized that somebody called me and said, do real estate. Somebody called me and said, do real estate. Somebody called me and said, do real estate. Okay, I said, let me do real estate brand ambassador.
Let me try it.
And they brought me brand ambassador, signed contract, millions came in. I say,
Oh, wow.
Is this how
they do for here?
Do you understand? So you study the trends. Yeah. If you are a single lady and the trend is you are attracting good, very mature men, like far older, consistently. It's not anything, you know, it's not like you're going to your way to do. But these people keep coming to you. Then look at it. This might be my path, and it's not lowering standard, it's not changing, it is about looking at it. Don't say, I know someone that she's in her 40s now, single. She's had several serious propositions from people from other regions. She's Yoruba.
She's insisting on Yoruba.
Her father has said she must marry Yoruba.
Wow.
Babe hasn't had a good relationship with a Yoruba person. She's missing out because she's thinking her husband is going to be Yoruba. What if he's not? If it is on the track of all the good relationships you've had, you've always attracted good non-Yoruba men and attracted Yoruba demons. Why do you suddenly think that by waiting longer, you will find the Yoruba good angel? Just go with the trend and follow, you know, because it will give you signal. Every life is telling us something, and if you miss it, you will remain in the same place. So it's telling you something, follow it. If it is younger people you are attracting, follow. If it is older people you are attracting, follow. So I shall know that you are conscious of what you are following. Because if you follow and you enter inside gutter, I was not the one that told you to enter there.
And whatever you follow, own your decisions at the end of the day.
Exactly.
So the fear is you do something. So I had a friend back in school, and she had to marry because the guy was taking care of her. The guy was providing for the family. She wasn't, so the guy was illiterate. But he was running businesses. Yes, he was. They had a family business that he was running, was traveling abroad and all of that. But he did not go to school in Kokon. And this girl was like the brightest in our class from secondary school. Met again in the university and all of that. But she had to settle because at the time her parents were really very poor. She needed somebody to pay her fees, somebody to do this, and before you realized it, I started hearing that she was getting married, and we had a conversation. I said, Auntie, why are you getting married? Why are you going ahead with this person? You've already told me all the flaws you are noticing. Say, but you know, once you graduate, now she was the last child. Once you graduate, you're expected to marry, blah, blah, blah. Don't worry, I'll make it work. And she's a very homely person, wonderful cook, very intelligent. Her English is impeccable. I cannot to explain, but she don't know that she had a full talk. I talk about, you know. And then she got married. When she came for my wedding, I got married years after I finished school. I've, you know, lived my life and all of that, and finally I got married. And I got married to the boyfriend they knew in school. You know, when she came for my wedding, she was crying. So I felt the cry was the joy for me. You know, you're happy for me and all of that. Then later we had a conversation in the evening when everybody had gone, things had settled, we were moving to the hotel. And she was like, she wished she listened to me. That since she just didn't want to be calling me to tell me what had been happening, that since she entered that house, you see that giving she was even collecting ceased. I'm telling you, she has been struggling to even look good is a problem, even till today. She's still there. She's not leaving, no.
So I'm managing.
If I'm telling, she's been managing. Say, what will people say? What will people say? My parents are no more. How do I? You know, she's been in that pain. Every 3 to 4 months, she still calls to cry. I still counsel because I will not tell her to leave if she's not ready to leave that space. Now, what they realized was the money seized, the difference in perspective, because she was educated and the other guy was not educated at all. The worldview is different. Like the day I visited I came home and I went to their house, immediately the man, she was entertaining us and everything, immediately the man came. My friend changed. That was the last day I went to her house. Once I come, I say, I'm in so place, come and meet me. I told myself and my husband, we cannot go there again. The atmosphere, immediately the man came back, the atmosphere, she was walking on eggshells. I was like, what? So sometimes those things that attract us is not what continues. So we must be very careful, and we must also listen to our intuition. Some people will say, listen to the Holy Spirit, you know, listen to your inner man, your higher self. However, you must listen to your gut feeling, you must listen to your intuition in making a marriage decision, so that you don't sit down after a few years and you're like, should I leave? Did I make a mistake? And that's when you now start thinking of what if I had followed this person, if I had followed that person, and all of that. We must be very, very careful. So our final advice before we wrap up, so the world at large, the world that is watching, for those of you that young boys are coming to meet, but you feel because of age I cannot.
We have set the standard.
How do we lower this standard a little? How do we, you know why I'm saying lower, not like lower standard. I loved Tall, Dark and Handsome. The dark guys never treated me well. I got tall, fair and handsome.
I got try now too.
So sometimes do we have to just bend a bit, or we just stay like Damola that no, nothing.
Well, when you have your checklist, I believe when you know what you want, you can immediately reject what you don't want when you see it. So when you have your checklist, if the man checks at least 7 out of 10, and the remaining 3 are not deal breakers for you, fine,
can go ahead.
By all means. But I'm just saying that you should not see the red flags and still put your head inside just because you want to be called a missus. For example, that's marrying down or marrying somebody that you are older than. You know, when Toby was saying that, okay, because now you're saying, but you said age is not it's just a number. Yes, age is just a number to say that it doesn't equate your level of wisdom and understanding. There are some older men, older people that act like babies. There are some younger people that are matured. But in a marriage, as a woman, you should not go for a man that you are older than,
or
wiser than, because he won't lead you. Your man is supposed to
be the visionary,
exactly, and help you blossom, help you find your path.
You'll not be helping him
exactly blossom. Because it's the head and you are the neck. That was what
our mother told us.
Yeah, so you cannot be nurturing yourself and then still be nurturing another baby that you call a husband.
You give birth and nurture the children.
And then the roles will now be exchanged. It's not good that way.
I think that we've shared a whole lot today, and my final words would be that when it comes to your life decision, you cannot abdicate it to anybody, not to your coach, not to your parents, not to your pastor. Your life decisions should be your responsibility. Be self-aware enough to make your decision and stand by your decisions. Don't go back and look in regret of what happened in the past. You can't change the past, but just move on and keep praying and hoping for the best. But take ownership. It's your journey, it's your decision.
And should always try as much as possible to be in the present moment. Whatever the challenges of the present moment, if you're present, sweetheart, please, your final words.
We did not skip you, sorry.
We did skip you.
I'll go with Tope. Let the past go.
Yeah.
There's life ahead. Explore it, and until you forget the past, you
cannot move
and enjoy the future.
Amazing. I think we can wrap up on that. Thank you so much, ladies. It's been a wonderful show with you girls. And we'll see you again on Monday. Do have a lovely weekend. Bye-bye now.